Hi guys, I'm in San Francisco today. I'm gonna eat this delicious whoopie pie. I'm gonna talk to you about the beginning of the world. So 4 billion years ago, Earth is a chunk of rock hurtling through space until it finds the sun, and it gets pulled into orbiting the sun by the sun's gravity. And then something very special happens. Life. So there are several leading scientific theories as to how life on Earth began. These processes are labeled under the general term abiogenesis, which is the word we use to describe the process of how something got from a basic molecule into something alive. Even the definition of what alive is still kind of debated. Are viruses alive? What do you have to do to be alive? Just have dividing cells and reproduce? And although there are some general guidelines to this, nobody can really quite seem to agree on what exactly you have to be alive. Scientists are pretty sure that in Earth's very early days it had a reducing atmosphere, which means that it had a lot of gases swirling around that eventually broke down into other organic compounds, like carbon. So now we have the very basic beginnings of what might become life, but they need an energy spark for them to become something that is self-replicating and has DNA. And so people have a lot of different theories as to what that spark might have been. Some people think it was a lightning strike into this quote-unquote primordial soup of very basic building block elements like carbon. And that lightning strike put enough energy into those bonds to allow them to form into amino acids, which is the very basic building blocks of proteins and RNA and DNA, which are commonly acknowledged to be essential to being alive. Geologists and biologists and paleobiologists who study life way back when don't have a lot of strong evidence for this hypothesis. But recently, some pretty strong evidence for another hypothesis came to light. This is the comet hypothesis, wherein a comet containing its own organic compounds, such as carbon and nitrogen, crash into the Earth with enough force to create the energy that produced those amino acids. But we don't really know for sure. It could have been either. It could have been something else. It could have even been radiation from a radioactive element that existed on Earth back then. But I mean, just the fact that we're thinking about how life was created and it could have been a comet smashing into Earth, I mean, how freaking cool is that? It's like a science fiction movie, only real. And the problem with not knowing is that that means that we don't know a whole heck of a lot about life on other planets. But we do know that they need to be a certain distance from their star, like our sun, and that they do need a star. Scientists recently found a planet that they're calling Kepler 452b that is pretty much the exact right distance from a star very much like our own sun, which means that it has pretty much the perfect conditions for life to bloom, if it hasn't already. It's also a small rocky planet, which means that it might have the requisite elements for creating amino acids. And the star is maybe 1,400 light years from us, so you know, pretty close. So we're still looking for life out there. As to why life exists, I think that's up to your own personal beliefs. If you have any opinions on the subject, leave it for me down in the comments below. Any thoughts about the search for extraterrestrial life or the beginnings of life on Earth, please feel free to comment or tweet at me. I also have a Tumblr, some really exciting announcements coming out soon about something very new and fun. I'll see you guys next time. Ba-da-da-da-da-dum, ba-dum.